Welcome to the Centurion Action 10 replay. The Centurion in this match is being played by AlmightyBaboonKovson from F15. We've seen him a couple of times before on this channel. He sent me a couple of replays and I chose, among others, this one to feature because I don't know much about this tank. I've not featured it on my channel yet. Obviously it's a new tier 10 medium tank. Before we had the F15, which was a bit average, and this one seems to be actually quite a lot better. So snaps a nice shot into the IU, moves off the ridge. This thing seems to be quite the mobile medium tank, especially when climbing hills and stuff. And the gameplay in this match obviously was really nice as well, which is the second reason for featuring this one. So Kovson decides that he's not of much use on that ridgeline anymore, and compared to the matches I normally play on this map, his team is actually smart and taking this flank, because this is the key to this map. If you don't take this flank, you lose. So puts a really nice shot into the IU and pulls back again. Backwards, this tank seems to be going quite fast as well. So managed to get out of that situation without getting shot. So now he's just here, it hasn't been spotted. Or turns out that he was permanently spotted actually. Gets hit both by the KV4 and the T110. So yeah, that's what, 850 health? No, 800 health down the drain. So yeah, not really a good trade, but the fun continues basically. So got some nice shots here, IS7 and this T34 I think. So 2 shots into them, and it seems the turret on this tank is just as durable as we're used to from British medium, so it actually works quite well. Shot in the side of the T95 does no damage, notorious side armor of that thing, but the T95 keeps moving up, so you have to do something, because eventually he's going to get here, and even though it's 3 tanks, if the 3 tanks are not actually trying to flank him, then they'll just receive shots. So Kovson does the smart thing, moves uphill, snaps one into the track of the T95, keeping him tracked for Arty, and then decides to pull back because he doesn't want to get shot by that thing. And then we can see this IS7 friend of the T95, they're in a platoon, rushing to his aid, because yeah, that's what you do in a platoon. However though, his team on the north flank, apart from this surprise E100 behind them, his team on the north flank seemed to be all very scared of one IS3 in the back instead of moving up and shooting these guys in the side. Don't know why Kovson shot the front of the turret of the E100 instead of just the lower plate, but he tries to snap a shot into the turret and gets hampered by the terrain. The enemy dream team is slowly moving up though, so Kovson needs to do something. Decides to shoot one into the side of the E100 turret, and then decides to do the finishing shot, which obviously bounces because of reasons. Now the friendly I7 moves up the flank, so it should actually go a lot better. But it seems the I7 didn't get the memo to look to the right when you're moving up a flank, and he's still very much scared of that IS3, it seems. So his team needlessly loses all kinds of tanks and receives all kinds of damage. You can see him there in the background. Perfect shot on the ass of the enemy IS7, and what does he do? Bounce. So yeah, I guess he finally turned his turret. He finally looked at the minimap and thought, oh, hang on, there's people there. So Kovson in the meantime puts shots into the rear of the T110, and the T110 gets ammo wrecked by the IS7, which is very unfortunate, but that actually never happens. I've never seen a T110 get ammo wrecked, I think. At least not in randoms. So that was a little bit funny. It basically saved IS7's life, and now Kovson is just making fun of this IS7, tracking him in the middle of nowhere. And then decides to move. His team on the north flank still very much scared of that IS-3 over there. 3 tanks seem to have ginormous difficulty storming 1. I mean, there's probably a reason for that. I can't figure out any, but there's probably a reason. And now Kovson moves back here because, yeah, we can see from the last known locations that the enemy team was all in the south on the hill. So there's bound to be someone moving up this flank to try and kill the arty. There must be. So Kovson moves up, spots the nice new M4 Sherman premium tank and doesn't get spotted in return. Now he doesn't need to worry because while the Sherman revolver tank has got a mean looking gun, it actually has pretty terrible penetration. So yeah, so much for good premium tanks. And Kovson just snaps one into the turret. Obviously the Sherman bounces because it just doesn't have the penetration and gets shot on. So yeah, now there's 2 enemy tanks left including 1 arty, but the arty has been found by the friendly T-62. Some really nice terrain over here, making Kovson's tank fly, and now there's just 2 enemy tanks in the cap. Because yeah, trying to cap might work, but not if you're outnumbered like this, then you're better off fighting. Kovson kills the Tiger II, and then AMX 100 puts a shot in, bounces, and there we go. So yeah, this was Kovson in the Centurion Action 10, 2 gun marks. I don't know if he got these on the FV or on the Centurion, but either way, he seems to quite like this tank enough to actually play for 2 gun marks. Some match details: ace tanker obviously, but also a Confederate and a high caliber. He did 5.9k damage this match, which is really nice. And yeah, overall played really well. I mean, his team was a bit dumb in the north. I mean, they had the right idea to all get there, but a tier 10 should not be afraid of a tier 8 in that kind of engagement. And the IS-7 should have just either pushed or shot the other guys in the rear. But it all worked out in the end. Kovson did more than his job to actually fix the match. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel, rate the replay, and see you next time.